Hey y'all, hi. So I was on Instagram the other day and I got shown, I guess it was a reel or an ad. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I don't know anything. Me not really understanding social media is going to be a theme, I think, potentially in this video. Actually, the foundation upon which this video kind of rests. So whatever happened, I was on Instagram, a video came up that was a TikTok style video. It might even have been one of those things where it was originally a TikTok and it was being shown on Instagram, I think as an ad for something, although for what, I don't remember. And in that way, the ad totally failed. But it didn't fail to get my attention because the TikTok or reel or little video, whatever it was trying out a new trend. And what it said was, unapproachable makeup is my new favorite. And then it was this woman like putting on unapproachable makeup. What she did, in the meat of the video, we'll discuss what it means. Because what does it mean? Here's the thing. I don't know whether this is a thing that's taking off in the way of like cold girl makeup or crying girl makeup or the trends that I've sort of seen. I've at least seen enough to know that they were sort of mini trending for a while and a lot of people were doing it. I don't know if that's happened to this because I'm not on TikTok. I don't scroll reels. I only saw this one little video that was like unapproachable makeup is my new favorite. And then this one person doing it. For all I know, she's the only person who's done it and it's not a thing. Also, for all I know, it's a huge thing and everybody's done it and I'm like late to the party. I don't know. All I know is that I saw it and I was like, I want to do that because it's so stupid and it's so also kind of really compelling because it gets at something and kind of almost also kind of makes fun of something about makeup and why we're into it, but in a good humored way. I don't know. Maybe in this video, I'll kind of unpack what it is that lit me up about this idea. Needless to say, I'm not taking it seriously at all. To me, it's not serious. None of these kinds of trends like cold girl makeup or whatever are. The thing that attracts me is that there is a levity. It kind of lit a fire under me to put on a bunch of makeup in a way that has in it boatloads of levity, which I feel like is truly what we need right now. I mean, just anything to have a moment of calm and levity and fun with art supplies. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't really have a plan. I mean, I brought some products down here because I don't even know what it means to anyone or what it means to me. I just know that I want to try putting on unapproachable makeup and kind of discover what we think that means and why we think it's funny as we go. If this happens to be your first time to my channel, then welcome. It's a little unhinged today. My name is Hannah. I make fashion, beauty, and lifestyle content. Love talking about aesthetics. In a way, this is kind of quintessential because it's just chewing over an aesthetic and zeitgeisty concept in a hands-on way. If you like it, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. All right, I'm going to start with skin prep, and I'm going to say that if I were a conscientious person, what I would have done was to like save the reel in question or screenshot it or at least know the name of the person or what the thing was advertising or whatever. I don't know any of that. I'm putting on Merit Great Skin because what is unapproachable skin? Here we go. This is what it's going to be like the whole time. What makes one's skin unapproachably beautiful? I mean, this is the question. So in the reel, the woman she put on kind of a smoky eye that was pretty simple and like an overlined lip. And then her hair was in those big curler waves and it was like, I'm unapproachable. And I think that the interpretation there was angling at unapproachably attractive but in a specific way, like very specific, very mainstream way. And the thing that's funny to me is that it didn't say that. It wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to be unapproachably beautiful or unapproachably mainstream attractive. Like that wasn't what it said. It just said unapproachable, period. And I think that was the interpretation. I mean, obviously, makeup makes you have a certain impression visually, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I am going to be going for high impact and in that way kind of like sexing it up a bit. I think that's where I'm going. Part of why it's exciting to me, I think, and piquing my interest is that I've been so low-key with makeup lately, so it's just fun to play in this direction. But I'm going to be asking every step of the way, what is unapproachable? What is the unapproachable version of this part of the made-up face? A full beat might be what most people would think of as unapproachable skin. I feel more like this is going to be about the color cosmetics, and I think actually to wow someone in the way that makes you unapproachable, I kind of want to go with what I usually go with, which is that the makeup on the skin isn't particularly visible. So I'm trying to prep my skin in a way that is going to make it really moisturized and sort of seamless. And it's really tough to get it to that point lately because it's so dry these days and just a little crinkly and cracky all over. But Merit Great Skin really does the most. It's like an oil serum mix, so it moisturizes and it also leaves something behind on the surface that's very protecting. It's great under makeup, especially if your skin's on the struggle bus like mine has been. Also, trying to go in this direction of not shiny skin, but like a glossy, lived-in, serum-y, natural finish to the skin, but dealing with a little redness and scarring. That's what I feel like this look needs as a base. So another thing I've been using a lot is the Merit complexion stick, but they don't have quite a light enough shade for me, so I'm gonna mix it. And I haven't used this in so long. I'm pulling out some old favorites because I'm thinking towards my December declutter, and I feel like I need to get back in touch with some of my makeup. So the Haus Labs foundation, this white, the lightest shade, is so serum-y and really skin-like and lovely, and it's great for lightening up products that aren't dark enough. I'm also going to add some green in with the Prism Libre color corrector from Givenchy. And isn't it kind of unapproachable of me to have a Givenchy color corrector on my face? I feel like people are going to be able to tell from a mile away that I'm wearing Givenchy makeup, and then as a result, they won't approach me. This also has kind of a pale base to it that will hopefully help lighten up the complexion stick. So I'm using the shade Silk. I still feel the way about this that I did. Some of you were asking when I had that video, that sponsored Merit video in which I applied a bunch of product. I feel the same way about this as I've felt since the very beginning. The beginning of my relationship with Merit, I mean, when I originally reviewed Merit, I love the finish. At that time, I said I had never seen anything so skin-like. Like, you just could not even detect it on the skin. I feel like Salt New York Sneaky Balm, like there are a couple other things that are as skin-like, but it's definitely up there. It's so beautiful if you want your skin to look like skin. It's just that the lightest shades aren't neutral enough for me. I hope that they expand the shade range. I'm thinking that mixing it, the lightest shades aren't neutral and they aren't light enough. Thinking that mixing it, wow, wouldn't you not dare approach me? Actually, yeah, that mix is blending out very beautifully. My skin looks much better there, but you can't see the product. I just love that. I mean, the finish looks really beautiful. The shade looks really beautiful. I didn't get as much coverage as I would have liked on the redness on my chin and on these scars. I think I'm just going to go in with a little bit of the Natasha Denona concealer in Y1 for some coverage, but just in those spots. I still feel there's a bit of redness. I'm going to try, because I just feel like the redness is making me too approachable for this look. Nothing says approach me like redness. Okay, I think in making fun of it as I put makeup on, I'm starting to understand what has tickled my funny bone about this concept of unapproachable makeup. I think it's the topsy-turviness of it. So at the heart of these questions of beauty with relation to product, makeup, this kind of ritual is like, why do we do it? Why do you wear makeup? Why do we care? A lot of us, we just do it for ourselves because we love the artistry of it, love the feel of the product, love applying stuff, love touching stuff. And then there's also this side of it that's like you're making yourself up to present yourself to the world. And I think a lot of people assume that what goes along with that is a kind of desire to be attractive. I got to keep going. If I start holding forth, we will just be off to the races and then I'll still look like this in 45 minutes. Is my skin unapproachable enough for us to proceed? I feel like it is. And actually, I'm just going to do tiny more coverage. These scars are really stubborn down here on me. This is reminding me how much I like this product, the white Haus Labs foundation. It sort of creates a glow, like a glow from within, sort of a serum-y glow from within on me that helps my face to match the rest of my body. I think a lot of people assume that there's one reason and one reason alone for putting on makeup, which is to make yourself more attractive to other people. But there are so many facets of that. It's like, in what way? Because this trend points out that sometimes too much polish, doing yourself up to a certain degree or in a certain way, makes you unapproachable to people, which is a kind of unattractiveness, right? If someone will not approach you, they are not being attracted to you. It is the opposite. It's like repelling. And so it sort of exposes the complexity and sort of the absurdity in the act of putting on makeup in order to be more attractive. Or maybe it exposes the fallacy in the assumption that that is the one-dimensional reason why someone would put on makeup. I think that we're kind of getting there. And I'm going to put on some brows. I'm going to put on some unapproachable brows. I'm tempted to go hard with the brows, but I feel like I worry that if I go too far in the direction of like a super full beat, that not that it'll make me too approachable for the brief, but that I feel like I need to maintain my poise I guess is what I'm saying, and not go too far in the direction of like the painted on face, even though I love doing that sometimes. I feel like I need a more delicate brow to be truly unapproachable. So I'm going, especially given what I plan to do in the rest of my face. So I'm going to really sculpt and groom my brows, make them sort of thin. I'm using the Refi brow pomade. Love it so much. Okay, as I put on the brows, I'm starting to realize, I'm mulling it over, and I'm thinking of another angle on the question of why this concept has tickled me so much. And this is what it is. If you have put on makeup to make yourself unapproachable, if that's your goal, then you're like, don't approach me. You're like, I have on this makeup and I'm out in public. Say you're at a bar. You're there and you're like, what I'm trying to project is don't approach me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to connect with you. Leave me alone. Which means that you've done it for yourself and you're there for yourself. You're there on your own time. You are there for your own agenda, and you don't want anyone else to get involved. And there's something kind of empowering about that. I actually feel like that's always me every time I go anywhere. And not that I don't want to connect with people. I guess it depends on the setting, because I'm perfectly happy to like connect with people when I'm out and about or when I'm doing things. But in certain settings, the idea that you're sending a signal that's like, I'm not here to be approached. I'm not here to talk to you. I'm just into that. And it does, again, kind of flip on its head or add a facet to the assumptions that people make about makeup and about people who make themselves up in any way to go out and about to live their lives. And I mean, I'm not saying that it's amazing and it's like the new most feminist thing I've ever seen on the internet or something. I think that these thoughts are sort of my own. It's just me spinning out with it. I still think largely that it is funny, and I will continue to make fun of it as I continue to do my makeup. Okay, I feel like these brows are helping set the stage for the unapproachable makeup that I'm going to put on underneath them. I'm going to prime my eyes. I do feel like unapproachable is kind of fashion. I mean, the more I think about it, I'm remembering that I spent all summer looking for a pair of sunglasses that I felt could be called this is the second time in 2 days, literally, that I'm saying the word on my channel. I hope that is not coming as a shock to you. I didn't tell anyone. I don't think I told anyone except for the shop girl at the secondhand shop at which I finally found them. But in my mind, it was like months that I was looking for these sunglasses. I imagine they would be big, round, and very dark. And I just wanted to put them on and feel like that was the appropriate description. I finally found them in like a resale, like designer resale shop. And they're a pair of vintage designer sunglasses, and I can't remember the brand right now. I'll put in a picture. But I was definitely after unapproachable with that. I mean, that is exactly. And I even remember thinking of it that way. I mean, he was my main adjective. And then I was also thinking like, I'm wearing them walking on the street and I'm projecting like, don't talk to me. And it's not because I don't want anyone to talk to me. It's because I felt like that would be fashion, or I felt like that would be a vibe that I was going for as the look and not necessarily a lifestyle, if that makes sense. And I feel like the same kind of nuanced thing is going on with the unapproachable makeup. It's time for the eyes, and I think that this is really where the magic has to happen. As you may have observed, I've been wearing relatively light eye makeup lately, and this is the chance to go hard. I'm going to have to, and I'm using the Natasha Denona Glam palette, and it's giving me a chance to check in about something. So here it is. I think I'm gonna use these like silvery shades and some of these dark browns. Yeah, I'm going to start with the brown as a base, but I'm going to work in some of those silvery grays. I was mixing this palette up with the I Need a Nude palette. I think it was the first new makeup hot takes back after my break, and I just didn't remember anything about my life. Like I didn't know anything. I was talking about the Xenon palette and saying that I had just purchased what I thought would be my perfect neutral Natasha Denona palette, or received it in PR. I can't remember what I thought had happened at that time, but I remember saying that I had just acquired this perfect neutral Natasha Denona palette, and then she turned around and released an even cooler toned one. And I was saying, is this the one for me, or is the one that I have good enough? And I didn't actually need to wait and get the Xenon one. You remember. If you were there for this scandalous oversight, then you remember. In that video, I was saying that I Need a Nude, I Need a Nude. I kept saying that I owned the I Need a Nude palette. I do not. I remembered when thousands of comments came in being like, when did you get the I Need a Nude palette? palette. Where is the review of that palette? I need you to link it. Then I realized that I had never received in PR, nor had I ever purchased the I Need a Nude palette, but rather I was just thinking of the Natasha Denona Glam palette, which I got in PR when I became a Natasha Denona affiliate. And the I Need a Nude palette kind of came and went without a second glance from me because I realized when I looked at it that this is cooler toned and I didn't need like a warmer toned version of this, nor do I need a cooler toned one, i.e. the Xenon palette leans too blue for me. The one that I have is the only one I need, is the perfect one. But I am so sorry that I misspoke in that video and claimed up, down, and all around town to own the I Need a Nude palette and to have reviewed it. I think I might even have said that I bought it and reviewed it, and none of that happened. And I've just been waiting for my moment to come clear about it, and this is it because I'm using this one on camera. Okay, so the eyes need to be smoldering, maybe not as messy as I often have them, but I think they do need to be quite high contrast. I think I really do need to... Oh, this is too light. That was the darker of the two grays. I need to keep it... Well, I'll put a little bit of it in the middle and see how it goes. Oh yeah, I think that the sort of ashiness of this is going to make me less approachable. It's not going to be that sort of sophisticated wash of slightly satiny, warm smoke on my eyelids, which is what I've been wearing. It's going to be like, stay away. Don't you dare approach. I'm taking it up higher onto my brow bone than I have been lately, sort of how I used to do it, to make my eyes more made up overall. Okay, I'm going into this dark brown. I'm going to use it to sculpt, and I'm going to kind of go hard with it because, you know, there's something that we're trying to achieve. Okay, the only eyeliner I have down here is Victoria Beckham Bronze, an oldie but a goodie. Oh, look how unapproachable I am starting to look. Wow, I would not approach myself. All right, I'm going to go for a little bit more contrast with this light shade, light silver shade, sort of in the inner corner. I tapped it and sort of dragged it across the rim of the eyelid right where the lashes attach. I'm just going to blend it a little. I kind of feel like that the addition of the lighter satin in the inner corner made me more approachable than I looked before because it makes me look like I tried a little harder than I looked before. I'm going to try to blend it out. I'm going to soften that stuff. And you know, trying hard makes you approachable. Last thing we want. I hope you can tell that I'm joking, but I'm also sort of not joking. Just don't quote me on any of this out of context, okay? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's better. That's better because it's sort of all blurred together and it's like there's a lot of makeup there, but it's also kind of like still mysterious. I think the outer corner needs to be still a tiny bit darker than it is. Okay, and I'm not giving you close-ups because I'm just kind of throwing this look together. I mean, I'm doing most of it with my hands. I'm being unapproachably hasty and I just feel like nobody needs a close-up of that. Also got some fallout. Wow, that fallout, I really had to do the most to take care of that. I could barely begin to approach that fallout. I should have asked it its secrets before I wiped it away. All right, I think I'm going to do the most on my lashes. Look what I have. It's that legendary Lancome lash booster, like mascara booster. It's this white stuff. Remember this? Honestly, I think of all of the things that make you unapproachable, nothing makes you less approachable than applying this white paste to your eyelashes to make them thicker and longer before you even put mascara on. Wow. Just wow. I'm going in with a Lancome Lash Idol. Do I need to let it dry? I probably do. Actually, while it's drying, I'm going to put on just a little bit of blush. I feel like it's all about the eyes and lips for this look, so I feel like if I do too much, again, I'll go into that slightly clown face territory and then I'll lose all my unapproachability. We can't have that. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this really fun product. It's this blush in this beautiful shade. It's a bright pink, but it ends up buffing out to something that looks really natural on me. Flushed, but as if the flesh is natural. I might have spoken too soon. I also just like that little sheen. I like that sheen that it leaves, but I'm gonna dull the color a little bit just by running this makeup sponge over it. There, I feel like now my complexion has a little bit of life in it, but I don't look like I've put a lot of blush on, and that was what I wanted. I'm gonna layer mascara over that stuff. Okay, that's the mascara on. I was all up in it when I was doing it, the eye makeup, and now that it's on, I feel like I'm still too approachable. I think I need to do a lot with the lips. And I have these lip liners from Unearthly Cosmetics in kind of weird colors. And I think that this might be the secret to turning me from an approachably, if intensive, relatively intensively made up woman to an undeniably unapproachable person. So these look almost the same. The top one is cafe and the bottom one is khaki. I'm going to go with khaki because it's lighter and I'm so pale that I think that this will suit me better and still be pretty vampy. I'm gonna overline. Oh yeah, and it's got a little green in it. Oh yeah, I'm becoming less approachable by the minute over here. I do think this is helping with my approachability problem that I was having. At the same time, I feel like making yourself look gothy in order to be unapproachable is a little bit of an easy out. I needed to stay more in the realm of like editorial color. So I think I need to make the lip blend in a bit more worn in, more like part of the skin and not like a stamped on goth gray lip. Not that that doesn't look good, not that it wouldn't look good, but I just feel like we need a little more subtlety than that to really fit the brief. So I'm going to soften it by adding Juvia's Place Plumping, whatever it's called. Actually, the name of the product isn't on here, but it's their recently released plumping gloss thingy. And it's just a slightly less grayish. Now I'm going to blot it. There, I feel like that really says my lip color is effortless and also don't talk to me. So we're pretty much there for the face, although I think styling can really help. I feel like this messy bun that I have going on is, eminently approachable. I need something harsher, and I think I know what. In the TikTok thing, the woman was like, her hair was like what was making her unapproachable. I don't think that's going to work for me, especially not today because my hair is pretty dirty. My Merit hairbrush. I featured this in my gift guide. Y'all, it's everything that I thought it would be. It's actually the best brush I've ever used in terms of the quality of the bristles. I've never had one of those really amazing like Mason Pierce. Is that what it's called? Those really amazing boar bristle, mixed bristle brushes. I've never had one. This is just like that. Okay, we're getting there. Truly nothing says don't you dare approach me like a slicked back high pony. Although the front parts of my hair, which are the shortest parts, are just sticking out right there. I feel like that's very approachable. Unacceptably approachable. I wonder if I can get them to lie flat, sort of tucking them in. Oh, you know what I'll do? I have this, the best for those little flyaways. The finishing gel from Crown Affair, and it smells so good. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like an amazing cologne or perfume. I learned about this because I saw Carrie Barber, who's the founder of Make Beauty, using it on Instagram. Okay, so I'm putting it also back there. Try to get those little sticky uppy bits down, although it might be a fool's errand. Ferragamo. That was the brand of the sunglasses. And I wish I had them down here because I think that they would really complete this look. Okay, and I brought down here what I think is my least approachable jewelry situation, my least approachable ear party, and that is this whole Jenny Bird trio. So it's the hoops, I can't remember what they're called, but you can put them in backwards and put the little ball in the front. I feel like this is a lot less approachable than wearing them front ways, but I actually feel like people might approach me to be like, oh, your earrings look cool that way. I feel like it's too much of a conversation starter for an unapproachable look. I'm turning them back around. Okay, but the thing that makes this really unapproachable is the ear cuff. Who would dare? See this ear cuff? Don't talk to me. It's like, don't talk to me. I can't hear you because my ear cuff is too loud in my ear. Is this the least approachable I can make myself? Is this the most I can do to repel approaches? I feel like I need to make the lip darker. I went too far softening it. I'm actually going to add in some of the other lip liner, Cafe, because it doesn't have, I don't think, that green. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, if you were having a party and the theme of the party was unapproachable and you invited me, this is what I would show up wearing. From the neck up. I don't know what I would wear from the neck down. I'm just doing this because I feel like I've really done it. Although I feel like this is making me more approachable, this gesture, because it's so absurd. That is it, everyone. You've probably already clicked away from the video because as soon as I completed the look, you were like, I can't even approach this person. I can't even continue to rest my eyes upon her. So I'm probably just speaking now into the void, but I will go ahead and do my sign off anyway. Thank you for watching. I cannot wait to hear what you have to say in the comments, and maybe someone can enlighten me as to whether unapproachable makeup is a trend or if it was just a flash in the pan that I happened to stumble across one fateful evening. Again, please subscribe if you would like to be subscribed. Thank you for being here. And don't forget to take extra good care of yourself so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.